I just built the ultimate BFS tackle box, and today we're going pond hopping with it.
Oh, never mind. Woo. What is that? Oh yeah. Let's go, boys. Dude, this is a monster.
All right, guys, once again in my hands is that ultimate BFS box. Now we're gonna take a quick peek inside so I can show you guys the exact lures that we're gonna be attempting to catch fish on today. And then our challenge is to try to catch a fish on every single lure inside this box, just to show you guys how well they work. Now let's take a quick look and then we're gonna start fishing. Now inside this tackle box, guys, some of the more basic stuff that you're gonna see is just some terminal tackle. I got our weights, we got some bullet weights, we got 2 different sizes. I got a EWG hook for some Texas rigging, and then we also got some little tiny wacky hooks in case we need to do some wacky rigging. Once we work our way down, you'll start seeing that we have some jig heads, and then last but not least, on top of that section, we got some underspins. Another really good proven bait, especially on windy days like we have behind us. So working our way down to the second section, you'll see we got a micro chatterbait, one of my favorite baits hands down. I threw my buddy J-Max swim bait in here. Now this is kind of just a plus. I'm gonna kind of fish this at the very end, or maybe if we find some finicky fish, we'll throw this on. Moving down, we got some finesse jigs. Perfect opportunity to try to get some of these fish when they're you know, on those beds or just kind of working on the rocks on those edges. Finesse jigs are really good to have. And then we got some of my favorite baits, top water action. We got a walking mouse, and then we got a popping little frog looking lure. And last but not least, in that last section, we just have some of the basics. We got some cranks, a mid dive and then a deep diving crank. We got ourselves some jerk baits, 2 different sizes and 2 different depths once again. And then some of my favorite baits, hands down, some Rooster Tails in a variation in colors and sizes as well. Now this is basically all I'm tossing for the next, I don't know when, until we catch all the fish we can on these lures. So let's get straight to the challenge. All right, guys, now real quick, the first bait that I decided to rig up was just a jig head. You can't go wrong with the basic jig head. And what we're throwing on there is just a simple little paddle tail. This is actually a Tiny Dancer by Crappie Mag, but this is what we're going with, just a simple little paddle tail presentation, something that can mimic the bait here in these ponds and hopefully snag us our first bite. So let's get to it.
One thing I will say I've learned during fishing ponds is when you have brick walls like this, or walls in general, I love to fish them. They're just a great area for baits to naturally hide and fish to naturally ambush from. So I try to work them pretty often. I don't see anything on the beds. I keep finding beds, but I don't see anything on them. Alright guys, I put on the Megabass jerk bait to see if we can get some of these finicky fish on beds moving. There was one over here, so I'm going to kind of test it on him and kind of read. And if he doesn't want to bite, you know, maybe we'll just try out another spot. This is a semi-pressured place. Oh, I finally had him grab it. He at least grabbed it and ran off with it. No, he hit it that time. He just went and grabbed it. I mean, act like I'm afraid. Act like I'm afraid of him. Ah, you're scaring me. I'm so afraid of you, big bass. You're so beefy. Oh, that time he grabbed it. That time he grabbed it. That time he grabbed it. Yep, there he goes. Don't want him to jump. Don't shake it. Don't shake it. And flip it. All this work, guys. All this work. We finally got ourselves our first fish of the day. I'm not gonna lie, this guy looks so much bigger underneath the water. Look at that, guys. First fish landed on our jerkbait. It only took about 40 minutes total and about 20 minutes of finessing just this guy alone. But we got ourselves our first fish of the day. I am super stoked. Right back to your bed. Well guys, that was pretty cool, but unfortunately it just seems like this pond is not on today. So we're gonna go ahead and pack up, head out to the next spot, and just go from there. We got one on the jerkbait. We're gonna swap out when we get to the next spot, and hopefully we get ourselves some more fish today. This place is just a little pressured, so let's head out to the next spot. Alright guys, we're gonna put on this little tiny swim bait that I did say you guys probably wouldn't have, but I just want to try this here. It's very, very blue water, and this bait, as you can see, is just solid white, and typically you can get some really crazy reaction strikes in some of this pretty water here in Texas if you have a swim bait. For some reason, the swim bait is like just the one presentation in clear water that gets fish fired up, and you know, we're gonna try to catch a few fish on this if possible. I've only had the one fish on the jerkbait, so who knows, maybe we need to put the jerkbait back on and just try to catch some fish and throw the whole, try to catch a, you know, fish on every bait challenge away. But the concept of me making a whole box to show you guys, you know, at BFS fishing, is that you can probably catch a fish on every single one of these lures. I mean, I'm still certain I can catch a fish on every single one of these lures while BFS fishing, but seasonal wise and just occasion wise, location, I mean, there's so many variations that go into fishing, so many variables, and you know, these are just some of the lures, or most of the lures, that you would need to catch a fish basically anywhere you go. As y'all saw, we put on that jerkbait earlier. They weren't biting wacky rigs, they weren't biting you know, anything else that I had. Oh my god, what in the world? First cast, oh my god, first cast out there, something just smoked that thing. That wasn't even like 6 seconds. That's what I'm talking about, guys. You give yourself the right presentation at some of these places, and that's more of what they want. They don't even care. It's the movement, it's the sporadicness. That was within like 1 second of putting this bait in the water. That was pretty wild. I don't think, now I know I didn't snag on anything because it ran out into the deep, but literally I was just fishing this area with a Texas rig and didn't have any luck with it. First cast out here with this little tiny twitch bait on the surface of the water, and y'all saw that. They came right up and grabbed it. That is awesome. All right, when we got here, there's a fish hugged up on a bed. I'm gonna try to be sneaky and check if he's there again. Sun's kind of coming out, making it a lot harder for me to see. I can see where his bed is, so I'm just gonna cast towards it and see what happens. Oh, something bit it. Barely got it. I'm gonna have to be very careful. Yeah, something's on that. Look at it running. Very, very light on this. Woo! That's what I was afraid it was gonna do. No. That is a good fish taking off with our bait. Stay over here, buddy. He saw that little spunkiness and he came up and grabbed it. I'm not trying to muscle this guy because, once again, 4-pound line, ultra light setup. I'll walk towards you, buddy. I'll walk towards you. He's gonna run when he sees me. I think this is the fish that we are after. And we're gonna flip him real quick. Oh, hold on, buddy. I don't want you to scratch yourself up. Hold on. I knew we could make it happen, guys. Clearly, we did not have the right presentation our first lap around this pond. Second time, absolutely got him. And dude, those hooks are so sharp, they really mess this guy up. So I'm gonna try to be real easy getting this guy out, because I can tell he's in a ton of pain. Get this one first, just to be safe. Yeah, that's the one we gotta get first. Oh man, that really messed up this guy. I am so sorry, buddy. Look at that though, guys. Absolute solid second fish of the day. This is probably closer to 2 pounds, and it looks like it's a post-spawn female, or maybe a spawning female. So I'm going to be real easy, try not to put any more damage on her lips, because I know plenty of people have already tried to get this fish. As you can see, she's been rubbing. So let's get her back in the water. I think she was literally right here. I saw the bed from afar and I was able to actually get it. So let's get her back in the water. Oh, that was awesome. So it seems like they are on beds, and that's the only way we're gonna get them to bite, is just to trick them. 2 bait fish presentations are the only thing we've gotten them to pull on so far today. So it seems like just what we're dealing with might have to just continue using bait fish presentations, and you know, we'll spend the rest of the days, the rest of the time that I'm actually fishing this tackle box, you know, focusing on those other soft plastics, wacky rigs and stuff like that. But I'm gonna try going around this pond one more time and seeing if we can get something on one more presentation, and we'll just go from there. That was awesome, guys. This bait is so much fun. I've had a ton of my buddies ask me, is it worth it? Is this bait worth 30 bucks? I mean, a lot of people don't want to spend 30 bucks on a bait, but you guys see, like one cast over there, we got a fish. One cast over here, the fish that I've been messing with this whole time, he just went crazy on this thing. So we've already done jerk bait. We can go with like a crankbait style thing, just because that seems to be what they're after. The only problem is they're kind of locked in on the, like just the size of these baits, I think, as well. So let me see if I have a paddle tail on me. We might have to adapt and do something like that. So what we'll do, there's a good chance we might be able to get something on a crankbait here, mostly because we just got something on a swim bait and then a jerk bait at another place. So let's try out this tiny little crankbait. If I don't get stuck, it's all on my fingers. Ouch. And then we'll just go from there. So this is the crankbait I'm going to go with, mostly because it's a deeper diver and it is a crawfish coloration. And with it being spring, there's a lot more crawfish in the water. So you know what we got to do? We got to match that hatch. All right, here we go. This is a mid diver, so it's like, I don't know, a foot to 3 feet, something like that. It's supposed to be a crawfish presentation, which typically are out during this time of the year. The only problem is it can easily get snagged, easily get caught on grass, but we're gonna keep on working it. Yep, there's our grass patch, like I said. Okay, so this might not be the bait we want here, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. Try to stay towards the shallows and rub some rocks, get into some of these beds where these fish might not. Oh, right away. Oh, right away. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you guys, adapt and adjust and you will figure it out. This is what we're doing. That's a good fish. Just gonna let him kind of tire himself out. Come on, if you need some line, take some line, buddy. Take some line. Don't take too much line. Okay, you're taking too much line now. Dude, this is a good fish. This is a really good fish for this pond. Literally, I'm just letting the rod do all the fighting for me. I don't know if you guys see. Just back and forth, walking with this guy. Not letting him get any slack. Just kind of tire him out. Keep walking with him. He's flashing colors like crazy. I don't want to go high with the rod because with treble hooks, I can accidentally slingshot him out. There's a lot of tension at the end of this rod, if you guys can see. And I'm not going to start cranking until he takes it a little bit easier on me. All right, let's see if we can get him. He's trying to get closer to us. Come here, buddy. Oh, dude, that is an absolute stout of a fish. That is honestly the biggest fish I've ever pulled out of this pond. And look at that, guys. Barely hooked him just by pinning the outside cheek and the inner lip, just like that. Solid fish, dude. This is a beautiful, beautiful fish. I have to just take a moment to show y'all this fish. I was not expecting to catch bass like this, especially on BFS micro cranks. And like I said, we just got one on a swim bait, got one on a jerk bait, swapped to the crankbait. Like I said, adapt and adjust, and look at this. That was awesome. Thank you for the fun. Make sure you're ready to go, get some nice oxygen in you. You definitely put up an awesome fight. Ow! Ow! What are you doing that for? Just go. Dude, that fish had to take a last minute munch out of me. That was insane. I'm ecstatic right now. I was not expecting to get a fish right there. I don't know if you guys can see like the transition of the video, like me getting grass caught on my line and then catching a fish the next cast, especially that good of a fish that fast, man. Let's get another lure on there and see if we can get ourselves another fish. Guys, going back through my tackle box, not a lot of bait fish presentations left, so we're gonna go with an inline spinner. This can create some flashing, some vibration, and also sink down to the portions where we need to get our baits, and it seems like we've been getting our bites. So we're gonna try this out. I'm pretty stoked that we got another fish just screwing around over here on this edge. So let's throw it back over here and see what happens, and we're just gonna slow roll it. I was literally banging the ground when that fish took that lure. Now this looks good in here. Oh my goodness, we yoinked that thing out there. Yeah, a lot of people like using these inline spinners for like trout fishing, bass fishing, creek fishing. They do a really good job of creating that inline spin, which looks like a bait fish. Some good vibrations too, and then they got that treble hook to tail it off. One of the most notorious lures for just catching multiple species right here. So that's why I had to throw it inside that BFS box. See, this is where I got the last fish, somewhere over here. I have no idea where he was, but he absolutely hammered that thing when he saw it. If we can get another fish on that swim bait, just the way that they hit that thing, it is so much fun. And this pond's been very, it's telling me they only want bait fish presentation. After getting nailed on a swim bait first cast, and then like 5 casts later, and then also getting nailed on a mid to deep diving micro crank, lets me know that these guys want it lower level, slow and easy, and a bait presentation that they can lock in on. Yeah, I really want to put the swim bait back on. I'm gonna do it. Is that, oh, never mind, never mind, never mind. What is that? What in the world is that? Dude, it is running so deep. Oh my goodness. What did I catch? This is not a bass. This is not a bass. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to walk with him. It's a monster, whatever it is. It's an absolute monster. I just want to see it. Please. Please just show yourself. I'm afraid I'm gonna lose it before I even get to see it. Dude, these fish are getting fired up right now. This evening bite. Come on, rod, just keep working him. Just letting that rod tip doing all. I'm holding it right here, keeping it stable. Letting the rod, he can take as much line as he wants. I'm gonna crank it back down. Dude, he is just taking line. Dude, this is a monster. What in the world is happening right now? Just trying to keep it going with the treble hook. Keep it in the same direction the fish is going. Oh, my heart is pounding right now, guys. I'm try to loosen it up, let him have some more line if he needs. He's already figured eight me like 5 or 6 times now. He's shaking so hard. He's tired though. Let's get him over here away from this tree branch. Come on, buddy. Come over here. Come on, buddy. Keep coming. Keep coming. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. I even got myself pinned with the damn treble hook. That's how ecstatic I was. Look at the build on this fish, guys. Look. Yeah, I freaking got myself with the treble hook. Ouch. Look at the build on this, guys, though. This fish is an absolute unit of a bass. Just beautiful, beautiful black bass. Oh my goodness. Just an absolute unit. And she is post spawn, so she could be even bigger if she wanted. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at those teeth. You can tell those teeth are just all sharp. Oh man, this fish has been on the bed for a while, and we just caught it for the first time in a long time. All right, guys, I have to show you this one. This is a solid fish. I mean, she is just built differently. Absolute unit of a fish. And I mean, just look, I'm gonna show you when we shut its head. You see how it's just curved
for speed and like just headstrong, just pulling down with that head. Insane fighting from this fish. Post spawn, as you can see, she doesn't have that big belly. Super, super tired. I can tell she used every bit of energy she had because she is not flopping, she's not turning, she's not doing anything now that we got her out of the water. And look at those vibrant, beautiful colors, intense lateral line. This fish used some energy. And look at that, guys, on that Rooster Tail, just munched it last second. I was about to say swapping to a swim bait. Boy, was I wrong. Look at this thing, guys. That is awesome. This is the fish we are after today. This is gonna be close to 3 pounds. And we're only rocking 4-pound line. Let's get a real quick weight on this fish. I don't even know if I brought a scale. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I brought a scale because I was not expecting to catch fish like this today. Oh man, I figured to be catching bluegill, little creek bass. But look at this thing. I'm gonna say it's about 375 just from the feel of it. And this fish could have easily been close to 5 pounds. You can see she's got that squaring belly and it's that post spawn, so she could have easily been close to 5 pounds on a good day, man. Let's get her back in the water, that beautiful, beautiful fish. Man, I'm still stoked about this fish. We're gonna give her a real quick revival. Just wanna make sure she's good to go. She used a ton of energy, you know, fighting us, trying to shake that lure. But man, what an awesome fish. Are you ready to go yet, baby? You let me know when you're ready. I'm gonna hold you by the tail. You just say when. Start kicking. Just say when. There you go. There you go. She kicked for me. It's that simple, guys. When you catch a fish like this and you do take him out of the water for a little bit of time, I mean, it was about a minute, minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes tops. We want to make sure we give them the proper revival, get that oxygen flowing back in between those lungs. And what I like to do is hold their lip, kind of go in a figure 8 back and forth. And then once you do get them nice and stable, hold them by the tail and just let them kick. And when they're ready to go, they'll kick out of your hand. They'll let you know. So that's kind of the safest way to release these fish after a good fight like that. Like I said, ton of stress. These fish get really, really hot. All their energy is gone. It's post-spawn, so we want to try to be as easy as we can on these fish. Man, that was a solid one. I think we're going to just keep on fishing. I mean, I got a quarter of the way around the pond, and we got ourselves another solid one. So let's tie on another bait, keep cranking them. Rooster Tail's done now, man. There's only a few more baits we need to catch a fish on, so we can go with like our jig baits. Easy to catch bluegill on though. You don't have to catch bass. These will easily catch a bass, bluegill. This will definitely work here too. Then we got some top water action. Our cranks, we already got them on. The only stuff we really haven't gotten on is our slow stuff, our jigs, our Texas rigs, and stuff like that. So let's try out one of those real quick just to swap it out, kind of give it a little bit of a different action, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so we got a little chatterbait put on there, and then we got our Texas rig from earlier. I'm probably just going to grab that off of there and see if we can use that as a trailer. I'm going to trim this back about, yeah, about right there. I'll say a third. And then we're going to go ahead and pierce this through. Now this could be hit or miss, especially because the colors do not match at all. But with chatterbaits, a lot of the presentation comes from the thumping and vibration of this blade. So we're going to try that out. And then the only other baits we haven't really caught fish on are going to be our little jigs, our finesse jigs. You know, the Texas rig soft plastics, which are kind of hit or miss during the spawn season. And then top water and our like little crappie baits. Now some of these baits we might not be able to catch fish on them, mainly because location and season. Like top water baits might not work. They can, but it's also midday. So either way, we're going to work with what we got, which is this chatterbait. We're going to finish out this pond, and then you know, we'll go from there, guys. If we catch ourselves another solid fish, then I don't think we really have to do a lot more proving to show you guys that this might be the ultimate BFS box. This might be the ultimate tackle box I've ever made for pond hopping, because it's working. All right, well, we got our lure in the water. It definitely does not look very natural with the red and black trailer that I have on there as well. So we're gonna start cranking it. Gonna do the same thing, just no way. I'll just say there's no way we caught a fish on that already. I was about to throw up out of excitement. A lot of grass here. This might not be the bait to throw here, but that's what I said about the last few baits, and they worked. Not only did they work, they got us our 2 biggest fish that I've had out of this spot. Crank this out there.
Oh, yep. Yippers. We got one, boys. Oh, he spit it out. No. That didn't take very long, man. That was about 4 or 5 casts in with this thing. I can't believe we just lost that fish, guys. I'm telling you that the thumping on the chatter is what gets them to go. It doesn't even matter what the bait looks like. It's just that thumping. I could probably go just straight jig, no trailer, and still catch a fish on this thing. It might be better that way because it won't get snagged as much. Because once you get snagged with the grass on this bait, it's a little hard, man. Way too much grass in these corners, unfortunately. So let's swap this out. We do know it will work, but unfortunately the grass levels are just not allowing us to use it here. Chatterbait's going back in, and the next setup we're gonna do is actually going to be one of these little jig heads for crappie. And since the flashing is working, let's go with one of these. Now, in order to run into these properly, we need to put a swivel on just to make sure our line doesn't spin. So I'm gonna do that real quick and then we'll tie this on. Baby shads, look at that. That is one of the best bait fish presentations you can use, and it works really, really well in any location, any body of water. And then this should make it a little bit easier on the bait because, as you guys can see, it's got the flat top now and then the chunky body, so it won't spin as much. Hopefully, we'll see. If we get one more good fish, man, I'll be ecstatic. I think I talked about earlier, the only problem with the smaller bait fish presentation is that sometimes, oh, never mind. Oh, they went for it. They went for it. I was gonna say, sometimes they think it's like a fry, like a baby bass, so they won't go after it. But they hammered that thing. Seemed like a majority of our bites came from the east side of the pond, like I figured it would. But there's still a little bit of a portion over here we're gonna try out. And to be honest, I might run back where we lost our last 2 bites and see if we can find one over there hugged up. Oh, yep, that's a fish. I thought I felt that swimming out. Oh my goodness. Dude, these fish are, oh my gosh. These fish are crazy here. They are just, look at them, just taking drag. I'm trying to just let him tire himself out. Every fish has been like this. They're just so packed full of energy, and you have to let them tire themselves out before I can even fight them with the BFS rod. But it's so much fun, like just the feel and action you get from this, man. It is something else. Come on, buddy. They're just fighting like crazy. Look at those swirls in the water they're creating. Another one. Woo, come on, buddy. There you go. Come on, this way. Try to just flip this one with speed. Oh yeah. Let's see where that lure is. You think that one wanted it? And check this out, guys. Watch this. Ready? Bonk. That's how easy that fish could have shook that hook. And that is why we want to have that rod working the entire setup, letting that light line just ease on with the bending of that rod. We got ourselves another solid fish, dude. Every single fish has just been beautiful here. Just absolutely stout fish. All right, buddy. I didn't take up too much of your time. You used a lot of your energy though. Are you good? All right, as long as you said so. Now, if we can get something on this, then definitely every single thing in this box will catch a fish without a doubt. We've caught a handful, we've lost a few as well, and I couldn't think of a better way to end this challenge than with a topwater bite. So let's get to it. The lure of choice that we're throwing to is I believe this is a Rapala, yeah, Rapala ultralight popper frog patterns, so hopefully we can trick these fish into thinking there's some frogs coming off the edges. We've really figured out that the bite is all secluded to these edge lines. These fish are kind of hugged up, feeding on the edge, waiting for stuff to fall in from that post spawn, and we're just gonna have to keep hammering. Man, this thing is a crazy popper for an ultralight. Usually I light pop, but this is just creating that by itself. I don't know if we'll get anything on this. I don't doubt it, because everything I've said, I don't know if we're gonna get a fish on it. We've caught a fish on it, so probably get one right here. Oh yeah. No way, we just got a topwater popper bite. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Who said it's too early for topwater, huh? Who said? This guy didn't. Let's go. That was the least likely fish I was gonna catch this entire time. And we just got him. Oh man, he's hooked bad though. He's hooked bad into the gill plate. Hold on, buddy. You're bleeding really bad. Okay, we gotta be really quick about this. Whew. All right, a lot of blood from this guy. Let's try to be real easy with him. Come on, buddy. Please coagulate. Please coagulate. So what happens is these fish have... Oh, he's good. He's good. He's good. I just want to show you guys real quick. See how it's all coagulating? So these fish have gill plates right here. And as you can see, he got hooked right in that gill plate. And that causes a ton of bleeding. A ton of very serious bleeding if you're not careful with these fish. It'll be real easy to get it out. You see he's still bleeding, but it's coagulating. That's what we want. We want to make sure it's coagulated like that. Once it does that, the fish is good to go. He's strong again. He can swim away. It's that simple. Woo! But for some reason, when you hook them in those dang treble hooks, they just bleed like a nosebleed, man. It's crazy. We just nailed our last lure of the day. We got him on the popper. It might not have been the biggest fish of the day at all, but we got him on the popper, guys. I'm ecstatic right now. That means I've gotten a fish on basically every single thing I was after except for a soft plastic. And I guarantee you, if I throw a Texas rig on here, maybe a wacky rig, and work it around, I know I can get myself another fish. I just don't have a ton of time. So with that being said, I'm gonna try it out real quick, and if that doesn't work out, I mean, we'll just walk off from there. But man, it has been a ton of fun. I'm literally in shock right now how many lures I've caught fish on during this post-spawn season. I'm gonna get another lure on real quick, work our way around the last little edge, and then we're gonna call it. That's it. So hopefully we get one on the soft plastic, because that's gonna be our last challenge of the day. Man, that was so freaking cool. There's just nothing like getting a topwater bite, especially during this time of the year. So literally the last thing I need to catch a fish on, because I'm going to consider this and this the same thing. I'm going to consider an EWG and a wacky rig basically the same thing. One's just weighted, one's Texas rig, and one's not. So we're going to go ahead and try to wacky rig a setup out here. Now this could be a really bad idea. It could be one of those things that just does not work because the fish are really active into the bait fish presentation, but it seems like they could also be getting fired up for that midday bite. The sun is starting to try to peek through those clouds. I literally have just this last little corner to hook around, so we might as well try one last bait, which is going to be that wacky rig. Pull this out. The wacky rig I'm using has actually been sitting in my pocket all day. It's just this little bait presentation right here. I'm going to actually take this off because it's making it fall down too much. Here we go. We're just going to wacky rig this on, straight and simple. Just like that. And I want it to kind of have the tail end flickering up a little bit more, so that's why I have it more towards one end than the other. I am shook right now. I cannot believe we just got a fish on that topwater popper. I thought I saw something follow it up, and I'm like, let me just keep moving it in just in case. If there is something, I want to make sure it stays on that tail. Sure enough, man, that guy absolutely nailed that thing. Oh yeah. I saw him come last second and grab that thing. Come on, buddy. No, no, he's gonna run off. I gotta land. This is the last fish. It's the last fish of the challenge. Come on, please. No, stop running. It's a decent one, man. He grabbed it and just took off. Look at my rod bending. This is insane. These fish are just fighting like crazy. So much energy. Oh, and then she spit it out. I knew that was gonna happen. Look at this. Work the hook all the way out of that plastic. I'm gonna count that as my catch, man. I'm gonna count that as my last catch. I don't care. I know they work. That's all I was trying to prove to you guys, that they work. I'm gonna literally get like 1 or 2 more casts in just because I'm right here where I lost another fish. Are you kidding me? Back-to-back cast. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Stop going high, Ryan. Ooh, whoa. I don't even know what's going on right now. I'm just here. I'm just living. We're in the moment. This is what fishing's all about. Please, I didn't check it. I hope it's not frayed. Let's not lose in the same spot. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. I'm sorry, I'm gonna flip you. I'm gonna flip you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That is right. That is right, guys. The last one we were after for the day. And look how he was hooked. Just the nick of his mouth was taken care of. Let's go, man. Back-to-back cast. Let's get him unhooked. There we go. I love you, buddy. You just made my freaking day. Mwah. Back in the water you go. Guys, that is awesome, man. I don't think there's a better way we could have ended that challenge right there. Lost one, cast it out just to kind of screw around to see if I can get another one. Right away, got hammered right again. Man, I'm done with the day. I just wanted to get out here and show you guys, you know, you can make a fun BFS tackle box, come out to ponds like this and catch a butt ton of fish. And as you guys can see, it definitely works. We're catching some good fish too. And it's during that post-spawn season where the bite is usually really bad. It's usually off. These fish are usually not eating. So I'm kind of shook right now. I don't know if we just have the right baits, right time, right place, right location. Definitely took some time to dial in our baits and figure out what they're wanting, how they're eating on the edges like this. But all in all, man, I'm ecstatic, guys. I think that's really gonna be it for today. I don't have anything else on the list that we can check off. And if you guys are interested in learning more about BFS lures to add to your tackle box, or ones that can work, or maybe if you just want to copy this whole tackle box, now you know exactly what to load your box up with, because it clearly works out here. And I'm going to make sure to leave a link below in my description for all these baits. If you guys are wondering where to get them, you can find them at Discount Tackle. You can also get them at some of your local places as well. And then the rod and reel that we're out here tossing, guys, Kestrel BFS by Cast King, my favorite BFS setup, hands down. A load of fun with this stuff, and as you guys can see, the fish are just so much fun to fight on here. The rod's bending, it's just a ton of action. I'm at a loss for words, I'm at a loss for breath. That's gonna be it for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you learned a little bit while we're out here. If you did, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.